Are you tired of the annual headache of collecting W-9s and issuing 1099s for your vendors or contractors? Well, in this video, I'll teach you how to avoid that process entirely. And yes, it is possible. It all comes down to how you pay your vendors or contractors. And so stick with me here, okay? And by the end of this video, you'll have some actionable strategies and steps that you can implement to simplify your bookkeeping and save you a bunch of time. By the way, if it's your first time here, my name is Navi Maraj. I'm a CPA and tax strategist who helps business owners save thousands of dollars in taxes. I create free content right here on YouTube and social media and offer a comprehensive tax course on my website, which is navimarajcpa.com. But for now though, let's dive into how to avoid collecting W-9s and issuing those 1099s in 2025. So let's face it, right? Collecting W-9s and issuing 1099s is a major pain. It's time consuming, it's confusing, and one of those tasks that my clients tell me they hate and dread the most. But what if I told you there's a way around it? It all really comes down to how you pay your vendors or contractors. Before we get into those strategies to avoid, collecting that W-9 and issuing that 1099, let's cover the basics for those who may be new to this or haven't heard of this before. A Form 1099 is an IRS form used to report payments of $600 or more made to individuals or businesses who perform a service for your business. And you're required to issue a 1099 to any contractor or vendor you pay at least $600 during the tax year if they are not your employee, they're a sole proprietor, partnership, or LLC taxed as a sole proprietorship. So basically not a business that's taxed as a C or an S corporation. And what this means is if you hire a freelance graphic designer, for example, or a consultant or a cleaning service, and you pay them $600 or more, you're responsible for issuing them a 1099. But here's the catch. To issue a 1099, you first need to collect a Form W-9 from that vendor or contractor. A W-9 provides the vendor's tax identification number or perhaps their social security number, which is required for filing the 1099. And here's sort of like a pro tip. Always make sure you collect that W-9 before that vendor or contractor even begins the work that they do. Otherwise, tracking them down afterwards, usually like after December 31st, is a hassle, and they may not even get you the form that you need so that you can issue that 1099 properly. Finally, don't forget that 1099s must be issued to your contractors and submitted to the IRS by January 31st every year. And it's this tight deadline that makes it even more critical to stay on top of the process. But for now, let's get into what you can do to avoid this whole thing altogether. And when I say this whole thing, I mean avoid collecting the W-9 and issuing the 1099 altogether. The first thing you can do to avoid this is to pay your vendors or contractors with a debit card, check card, or credit card. The best and easiest way to avoid the W-9 and 1099 process is to pay your vendors or contractors using these types of cards. And here's why. These transactions are automatically reported by the payment settlement entity on a form called a 1099-K. This means that you're off the hook for collecting W-9s or issuing 1099s. And that's pretty simple, right? Just pay your vendors or contractors using a debit card, credit card, or check card. The second way is to pay them via Venmo or PayPal, but you have to do this correctly. Venmo and PayPal can also save you from the W-9 and 1099 hassle, but there's a catch. You have to use them the right way. For Venmo payments, if you're using Venmo, you need to turn on the Pay for Purchases option before hitting that Pay button. This ensures the transaction is treated as a business payment and the vendor will pay a small fee. If you skip this step, your business will still be responsible for issuing that 1099. If your vendor has a business profile on Venmo, payments are automatically considered business transactions and you don't need to do anything extra. You don't have to click that button. Here's another pro tip related to this. Your business, if using Venmo, should set up a business profile and link it to your business checking account. This way, anyone paying you is not going to bother asking you for a W-9 or will issue you a 1099 because Venmo will handle that reporting, like I said earlier, on Form 1099-K. The third way you can avoid all of this is by paying with Apple Pay or Google Pay, but you have to do it correctly. You need to be sure your payment method is linked to a debit card or credit card and not your business checking account. If it's linked to your checking account, you'll still need to collect the W-9 and issue the 1099s. And the fourth major tip here is just to avoid paying with Zelle, checks, ACH, or even wire transfers. This is where most business owners get tripped up. Zelle isn't considered a payment settle entity like Cash App and Venmo and PayPal. So it doesn't handle 1099 reporting. So using Zelle is the same as writing a check. And speaking of checks, it's 2025. Let's stop writing checks, right? But if you do, you'll need to collect a W-9 and issue a 1099 to that vendor that you paid via writing them a check. ACH or wire transfers, just like Zelle and checks, these methods require you to handle the W-9 and 1099 process yourself. In short, if you're still using these sort of outdated payment methods, you're signing up for more work than is actually necessary. The bottom line is how you pay your vendors matters more than you think. By using debit or credit cards, Venmo or PayPal with the proper settings, or Apple Pay and Google Pay linked to a debit or check card, you can avoid the headache of W-9s and 1099s entirely. Avoid paying using Zelle, checks, ACH, and wire transfers unless you're prepared to handle that extra paperwork of collecting that W-9 and sorting through all those transactions at the end of the year to issue the 1099 for the proper amount. As I mentioned earlier, I teach entrepreneurs like you how to save thousands of dollars in taxes. Imagine joining Daniela, who saved over $30,000 in her first year, or Jeff, who's now saving over $25,000 annually, or Valerie, who saved over $10,000 in just her first year alone. And there are many others who've saved thousands using the strategies I teach in the course. These results are possible thanks to my unique 3-step process to unlock your tax savings. The first thing we do is I'll help you build a strong foundational understanding by teaching you how business taxes work and the accounting fundamentals. You'll learn about the various taxes your business faces, different tax classifications, how your business structure affects your taxes, and plus, you're going to master the accounting equation, journal entries, the profit and loss statement, and balance sheet. I mean, many students say that they get their money's worth from that section alone, and that's just the foundational knowledge. But then what I do is I'll teach you the powerful tax strategies, and nothing is held back. You'll discover how to save thousands with an S corporation, how to hire your minor children, how to contribute over $70,000 to your retirement account, and that could even be Roth dollars if you want it to be. And third, you'll implement what you learned step by step with me. Together, we'll put these strategies into action using QuickBooks, ensuring you save every possible dollar. This isn't just about learning the tax strategies. It's also about implementation so you actually realize the tax savings you learned about in the prior sections of the course. Most students complete the course in just a few weeks, and here's the best part. I offer a 30-day money-back guarantee, no questions asked, the risk is all on me. So if you're ready to start saving thousands of dollars, visit navimarajcpa.com or click the link in the description below to learn more and preview the course content. And remember, if you learned something in this video, subscribe to my channel and click on that notification bell so you'll be alerted when the next one is released. Or if you can't wait and you want to learn more right now, click right here to watch another one of my valuable videos, and I'll see you there or in the course.